Wouldn't it be nice to upload an image, have AI generate alt text for every locale, and for that alt text to travel with the image everywhere it goes, such as your mobile app and website? Well, now you can because Sanity Functions now supports Media Library. Let me show you what I mean. By heading over to my Sanity dashboard and navigating to Media Library, the centralized place to manage my organization's assets, and we'll upload a new image. When we upload this image, the automation is going to kick off, and we'll see after several seconds that this alt text field will automatically generate with each of my locales. And here we go. Now we've seen that we can upload an image and have AI automatically generate the alt text. And while alt text is meant to describe the image, sometimes where the image is getting placed will dictate what that alt text should be. So we may want to override the alt text on our website, for example. And here's what that looks like. Heading back over to Sanity, now let's switch to Sanity Studio, where I'm modifying my homepage. We're going to open up the hero, the media field, and replace this with our new image. And we can see in the alt text field that it's using that global alt text. But for this scenario, I do want to override this, so I'm going to customize it. And I'm going to mention my product name because this is a part of a promotion. And now only in this instance is it using this alt text. It's not modifying the global, and I can always switch back to the global by using this button right here. The functionality to be able to override the global and reset it are some modifications we made to this studio. So in some cases, we may want to override the alt text depending on where the image is getting placed. Now let's look at some of the code and some of the patterns that we can use. First, this is just the mental model of what's going on here. We have a sanity function, this box, and it listens for new assets. If there's a new asset that's uploaded to Media Library, then run the code. Within this sanity function, we are generating the alt text and we're saving it. In order to generate the alt text, we're using Sanity agent actions, which allow us to define AI automations in code. So this entire process is native to Sanity. We're not calling external APIs or anything like that. Now we're going to look at a little bit of code that handles this new asset, run this code. Here's a sample code block that determines when our sanity function should trigger. First, we wrap our object in the define media library asset function, so we get that type safety. Within here, we get to define the event that this function should trigger on. We can choose between update, delete, and create. For our example, we were triggering that function on create, but you could also do update. So if you were to manually modify one of those alt texts, you can automatically translate the rest of them. And we can be very granular here by further filtering to say, we want to only modify this alt text if the English alt text was changed. And lastly, we have this new resource property that allows us to specify the media library ID that we are listening for. When these conditions are met, our sanity function will trigger. Their agent actions will generate the alt text for every locale that we define. And this is one example of event-driven logic that we can use with Media Library. That anytime something changes in Media Library, we have the opportunity to run code. The code we run, whatever speeds up our content operations. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.